You're looking at the first Saturn man to ever be inducted into the Saturn men. You're looking at the 2024 content that is here to help you dominate the 2024 season. We don't take breaks. Other content creators are going to take a little break right now. A little 2-3 week, maybe 4-month vacation. My rankings might be up in July. We don't do that. We're year round. Saturn men drop right now. We brought you Mars men. We brought you Moon men. In that, Mars men were the top of the top. Moon men were right below the Mars men. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Saturn men, a level above Mars men. And this man, Breece Hall, is our first Saturn man to be inducted, and it begins right now.
The Saturn men.
Look at him.
Saturn men.
Look at him.
Spaceman.
Look at him.
Spaceman.
This is the first inductee to the Saturn men. His name is Breece Hall. He is 8 feet tall, and he helped you win a stack of cash probably this tall. The Fantasy Football Show 2024, day 1 begins now.
FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks. Live whenever Saturn men leave planet Earth and head towards Saturn. Whenever we slingshot someone around the moon, then around Mars, then over to Saturn. We are here for it. Live Monday through Friday. Every single Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's how we roll. We're here today to induct a special man into the Saturn Hall of Fame as number 1 ever inducted player. And I got to say, Breece Hall blew away even my expectations. And my expectations were 8 feet tall. And he blew my expectations out of the water. Imagine what he did to some of the doubters out there.
Breece Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Breece. He's Breece.
He does a whole of a job. A whole of a job. A whole of a job.
Breece Hall, please report to the moon.
He does a jale bayo.
Get breached.
Get breeced. Get breeced, everybody. Look, there are several ways to look at this situation. You know, trying to induct the first Saturn man. We got Jahmyr Gibbs we got to talk about. We got Kyren Williams. Literally 3 of the top 4 running backs, I think, are potential Saturn men. 2024 is going to be interesting. My first, instinct was to say, I kind of feel like I'm going to go early wide receiver walking into the 2024 early offseason. And then I started to think about it. Then I started to ponder it. Then things started to evolve. And I think I'm probably leaning more than ever going running back heavy in the top freaking 5. I think it's going to be the top 4 running backs. We talked about these running backs earlier on the other show. CMC, assuming CMC exits the 2024 NFL playoffs unscathed, which right now he's got a calf injury. Right now, Christian McCaffrey has been ruled out of Week 18, and he won't be playing Week 18, as a lot of the Niners will be sitting, I'm sure, after just a little bit of work anyway. But we got to figure that if he does finish the year healthy, and the calf injury's minor, and he's a monster through the playoffs. Let's say the Niners don't even win the Super Bowl, but they make the Super Bowl or they make it to the title game and McCaffrey blows up. As long as McCaffrey looks like the McCaffrey he's been all season long in 2023, he will enter 2024 as pretty much the consensus one. With some debate, with some argument, with some of that. But I feel like there's very much a debate, in my mind at least, of wanting the 2 or 3 pick wanting to potentially have Breece Hall, Gibbs, Kyron, as much as Christian McCaffrey, even if he exited the 2024 NFL playoffs healthy. And of course, we've got wide receivers, Lamb Chops. Get lambed. Lamb Chops is a monster.
Get lambed.
Absolute savage. CeeDee Lamb. Lamb Chops. JJ returning to everyone's good graces. We've got Tyreek Hill, probably still going to have the 1-2 elite years left. Of course, these wide receivers are in contention for the number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 overall draft spots. But dare I say, I'm starting to really pull toward these RBs now in the top 6, 7 overall because they're special. And the running backs below them are in some capacity a lot riskier and not as much upside. So we're going to have an amazing top 8 to 10 overall with Lamb Chops, all these running backs we're discussing. But we're here right now to discuss Breece Hall. There are people out there that try and bring the medical industry into fantasy football. They don't have a lot of fantasy football experience. I don't care if they have 2 or 3 or 4 years of experience. You got to trust somebody that comes to the table with over 2 decades of professional fantasy football content creation. 19 years on NBC and CBS Sports Radio, bouncing back between the old dial on the old-fashioned radio. 19 straight years. Doing injury predictions, doing NFL scout analysis, and you got a lot of people playing fantasy football as their doctors, and you have your boy, in all honesty and fairness, playing doctor from a fantasy football perspective. But I have to ask you this. Who would you rather trust? Somebody that's going to bring totally unrelated medical advice to the table that doesn't really have 20, 25 years of taking the medical situations and extrapolating it through the injuries you see NFL players get, because that's what we do. And so when someone says, Smitty, I heard from a fantasy person that does all the I don't care. We break it down better than anybody. And let me give you a case in point. This man, Breece Hall, you were told by a lot of people, had an ACL tear and wouldn't be able to come back and do anything. I'll come in and grab Breece Hall in 2024, and I'll take a pass in 2023. But we were here. I was here. You were here. All of you Breece Hall drafters in the building right now. You were here. You were here. And we all took advantage of Breece Hall. We all took Breece Hall and knew that he was going to deliver the ball, that he's 8 foot freaking tall, that he'd do a hell of a job for you and deliver. Then we got hit with the Aaron Rodgers Achilles injury. And yeah, Breece Hall got knocked down a peg. Breece Hall was inconsistent, but it wasn't because of the ACL tear. Because I was here to tell you that every ACL tear is different. Not all ACL tears are the same. Number one, you have to have potentially the ability to jump back into your starting role without any sort of hesitation, equivocation, or any kind of battle. Breece Hall didn't have a battle. Some said that Dalvin Cook was going to come in and step all over Breece Hall. We knew that was a fairy tale that was going to fall flat on his face, and it did. Okay? Number two, you need youthfulness to recover from an ACL tear in your first year. There is a string of data, which I presented all off season long, that suggested that if you suffered an ACL tear, yeah, there is a significant risk of having kind of a wasted year. Saquon Barkley, other running backs like J.K. Dobbins, these guys did not bounce back from their rookie or their ACL torn years. They did not have a good first year back. But what do people do? 9 times out of 10. Well, I saw this over here, Smitty, so it must be true over here. No, we said Breece Hall was different. Why was he different? Preparedness. If you are prepared, mixed with being young, mixed with having a potential of no sort of freaking competition for carries, you will have a much easier path to having not just a good year back from an ACL tear, but being just as good as before. And Breece Hall wasn't even 100% because no one truly is, because you're going to have that step loss for a little bit, but you're going to have quickness. You're going to be able to get some of your things back. You're going to be a little rusty the first month, but you're going to start getting better and better and better. Breece Hall will tell you in the offseason, guaranteed you will hear him say these words: I feel light years ahead of where I was. I feel 100%. Last year I kind of was dragging the leg. Last year I felt like I wasn't able to pop off. This year's going to be different. Every running back says that. And it's not just them saying things. It is actual facts and truth. But that doesn't mean that they weren't elite and worth what we said Breece Hall was worth walking into his ACL recovered season. His first season back, he exploded. He exploded, and he did exactly what we thought he'd do, exactly what we predicted he would do. He is who we thought he was. He is a freaking Saturn man.
The Saturn man. Man. The Saturn man. Spaceman.
But Smitty, how come in 2024 he can't produce? Running backs don't produce their first season back from ACL tear. False. Not fact. That's cap. And I told everybody why. I explained it all offseason. There's only so much I can do. There's only so much screaming I can do. There's only so many people I can convince. This man right here is special. The fact that he did this at what I'm admitting and always have said will not be his 100% self, but he'll be so damn good his first year back because of preparedness, because he was prepared. Barkley was not. Barkley barely ran before week 1, his first year back from an ACL tear. It was as easy to see as anything coming. It was so easy to see that this man was not going to return. This man was not going to return, that Barkley was not going to return to form his first year back. It was so easy to see that this man was. It's going to be glory. It's going to be amazing because this man will be an inch closer every single day to being 1,000% healthy. And you give this man an offense. I mean, I saw some of the comments in here. These comments couldn't be more right. It is so shocking. So hit that thumb up button on your way in the door. It is so shocking that so many people don't understand that to do what he did in his situation without Aaron Rodgers, without a great offense stretching the field constantly, to do what he did in this situation is unbelievable. And it paints a picture of what he's capable of doing once you give him a well-balanced offense with Aaron Rodgers slinging the rock to Garrett Wilson, stretching the field properly, and making defenses say, hey, we can't really just focus on him. We got Garrett Wilson over there. We got Aaron Rodgers. We got a quick release. We've got an offense we can't really contain fully and focus on one individual. Therefore, he'll never be a focal point of defenses. This man right here is going to absolutely explode in 2024. This man right here, look at his stats right now. Look at these. In my opinion, this is top, 4 running back stats across the board in most formats. Christian McCaffrey finished as running back 1. Etienne, just give Etienne some flowers. Goodness gracious. Etienne.
To the moon.
Etienne, such an amazing player. Moon Man graduate. Etienne, all these guys are pretty much Moon Man graduates. Mostert is not, but Mostert had a phenomenal year. 32 years old walking into next year. Mostert is not somebody that you can count on, okay, walking into next year on a 17-game season. He's somebody that I think you could draft with Achane and be very comfortable that you're going to be okay if Mostert does crap the bed. And they're both startable, in their own right by themselves in 2 different spots. That's very rare in fantasy football. But this man, Breece Hall, finished number 4. He finished number 4, slightly behind Raheem Mostert. And that's a remarkable number for a guy that didn't even rush for 900 yards. He didn't even pull in more than 8 total touchdowns. He had 74 receptions in PPR. He was running back 4 on a what I consider to be light years below season than he's capable of producing in 2024. This guy's going to smash this season to pieces, which means he very well could be RB1 or RB2 overall in 2024, and it's going to be absolutely remarkable and absolutely amazing. Just get ready. Just get ready. Just get ready because it's coming. Breece Hall explosion is coming. I give you Saturn Man number 1.
The Saturn Man. Man. The Saturn Man. Spaceman. Spaceman.
Just get ready. Just get ready. It's coming. It's going to be unbelievable. And congrats to everybody that drafted this man, stayed the course, traded for the man off of the channel advice, stuck to the plan, and got what you got, which was a top 4 running back in a very hampered and handcuffed situation. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And I appreciate everybody being here. All right, file on in. Hit that thumb up button. Appreciate every single one of you people in here. You're amazing, every single one of you. We had an amazing season. So many championships were won. So many people did amazing. And the phone lines are now open.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Biggest super chat of the year so far on day 1. This happened last night as the clock turned midnight. Perps is the highest super chatter of the year and the month of January. Perps to the $2.99 holler. If anybody wants to knock Perps off, I dare you. I dare you. Phone lines are open. Dial on in. Appreciate everybody. Let me open the phone lines first of all. The phone lines are just gearing up. Okay, they should be open. Dial in if you have a question. Your boy's here to try and give you the best answer he can. Now, if anybody's playing Week 18, at first I feel sorry for you. Second, I don't feel sorry for you because you've been advised to not play in a league that goes through Week 18. It's ridiculous and it's borderline stupidity to play in Week 18. Now, maybe your commissioner's the one doing this, right? And I get that, but at some point you got to leave the league. If the guy's not going to change this, the guy or girl that's running your league isn't going to change and go to Week 17. It's ridiculous because you can't predict anything. McCaffrey's going to sit. You got a bunch of teams going to sit out. The Ravens, who knows what the Ravens are going to do? I don't think they want to get cobwebs all over them, but I think they're not going to play a big, long game. So, like, playing Week 18 is just stupidity. Like, even a lot of the questions I'm going to get, I won't even fully know how to answer them yet until we hear more news and info on who's sitting and who's starting. Even guys like Lamar may or may not play more than we think. We don't really know yet. On the phone line, making a whole bunch of noise. I don't know if you're eating some candy or what. I think it's Theo. Theo, you're live. What can we do for you, Theo?
Yeah, I was muted.
Okay, then it was probably Trevor.
TBA on the Moon Man list?
What'd you say?
Or the Saturn Man list? Who's TBA on the Saturn Man list?
To be announced, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you never heard of TBA before?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to tell you yet. It's to be announced. TBD,
Yeah,
to be determined, TBA. Yeah. Okay.
Just wanted to wish you a happy New Year's. I won my chip, so
Attaboy.
thanks for that.
Attaboy, buddy. Attaboy, buddy.
I
Who do
can't
you
wait for January 1.
who would you give the trophy to on your team or the game ball to that delivered monster numbers for you that
I
won?
benched Adams, but I feel like I give it to just for this week. Or for the whole season.
Well, give a game ball for the season. Give a game ball for this week. Do both.
I said St. Brown for the season.
Nice.
And for this week, probably Connor. He got me like 29 points.
Connor was good, bro. Connor was fantastic. Connor, Adams, Butker won a lot of.
Also.
Butker won a lot of championships.
Yeah.
Aubrey got people there. Yeah, man. Gonna be unbelievable.
Yeah, it was like over 50% of people who made the championship had Aubrey on their team.
And just
Which
just to
kind of a crazy stat.
just to clarify, some of the people in the chat wondering about the Saturn men and all that. The Saturn men are gonna probably be big name players. There might be maybe 2 or 3 kind of like deeper calls. I think of the 6 maybe, because there'll probably be about 6 Saturn men, 6 Mars men, and 6 to 8, 6 to 10 Moon men. I want to keep it. I almost want to keep it under 20 total. But I want people to understand that there's going to be the Saturn men are going to be rock solid. They don't necessarily have to be any sort of amazing, crazy sleeper value. But even so, Hall's going to win you a league. You know, like I'm not just going to put a player on here that. I mean, Hall might go high, but he's still deserving of it. And not every case on all of these are gonna. Sometimes it's like trust him. You know what I mean? Like case in point, McCaffrey is going 1 or 2 or 3 overall next year, assuming everything goes well and he doesn't suffer some catastrophic injury, or the calf doesn't turn into an Achilles or something like that. McCaffrey walks out of 2023 fantasy football into 2024 as a 1, a 2, or a 3 overall pick. But that might not come August be the player I want you drafting at 1, 2, 3, or 4 overall. He might be, he might not be. We got to kind of see how he finishes. But the Saturn men is kind of a way to say, when you're in that round 1, 2, and again, maybe 2 or 3 of the guys could be deeper guys, this is who I want on my team. This is who we believe in. It doesn't matter that they're big name players. As we get into the Mars and Moon men, I venture to say they'll be a little lower on ADPs. There'll be a little more fluctuation and ability to go pop up into a much higher ADP based on performance versus where they get drafted. So I just want to clarify that on the Saturn men. 3 or 4 of the 6 Saturn men that I probably will put up will be big name players. But that's okay. That doesn't mean they aren't deserving of the draft selection and where you should be taking your first overall pick in your first round. That's kind of the point of, I think, some of the Saturn, who are the lock solid elite players that are going to carry you. This man is Saturn man number 1. Okay, Theo, anything else, bro?
I just wanted to say I think Anthony Richardson is going to be a steal in the 2024 fantasy draft.
Can I just tell you that Anthony Richardson has got a invitation to come try out for one of these spots we're talking about here on the Moon or Mars men list? He's got an interview with me soon, and I'm going to interview him on whether he deserves to be on the list. In all seriousness, we have a couple interviews potentially loosely lined up. These NFL players are super busy, and a lot of times their handlers will get involved and meddle with the potential setting up of an interview when I'm trying to talk to a player. And let's just say that loosely based setup, I have 2 amazing players coming in to do an interview in the offseason. So I don't want to announce anything until it's for sure, because these things can bail. But get ready for it.
I'll be here for it.
All right, later, Theo. Appreciate you. Trevor, you're live. Trevor, what can I do for you, pal?
We did it. We won.
We did it. We did it.
To the moon.
Who won it for you? Who won it for you?
You already know who won it. Say his name, press the button, all the way, A-Chain, to the...
Devon A-Chain, please report to your shuttle, to Saturn, your shuttle.
Yeah, A-Chain. I love the A-Chain haters, bro. There's still 2 or 3 lingering in the comments. There was one that just happened, I think, like a half hour ago, where the guy said, A-Chain finishes RB, blah, blah, blah. You guys are crazy. They can't help themselves. They're so mad. The A-Chain haters are so mad right now. We haven't heard from many of them. They all went dormant. They scattered. There's not even cricket. You can't even hear cricket sounds anymore. A-Chain haters are really nowhere to be found but the 2 or 3. I would call them bold people, but I just think they're misguided. But that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, they don't need A-Chain.
I think they just missed the opportunity, so all they can really do is just keep on saying, no, it isn't true.
Yeah, it's weird, bro.
Feel better inside.
Double down Donnies, bro. Double down Donnies. All right, what can I do for you, Trevor?
Yeah.
Congrats.
I just wanted to say thank you for all that advice. I listened last year, but I never called in. I frankly didn't really think you could call in if you weren't a member. And then I just called in this year. So I appreciate all the advice. I'm going to be watching you off season. We're going to do a, what is it called? A Dynasty League now. And yeah.
Are you subscribed to my Dynasty channel, bro?
Didn't even know that was a thing.
Bro,
I did not know.
Bro, what is wrong? Like, you must not come here a lot. I'm just going to be honest with you, because to miss that you could call into my show without being a member, to not know I have a Dynasty channel, like these are all pretty well-known things, bro. Here, hit the link. I just dropped the link in the live chat. Click the link right now. Subscribe to the Dynasty channel. If you ever forget where it is, just go to the bottom of my main channel, and it has all my channels that I have at the bottom. So I'm going to do a Dynasty video, one per day going forward. We're going to dominate Dynasty. I'm going to take over the Dynasty industry on YouTube because it's garbage content. And I wish I could have done more last year, but I was focusing so hardcore on the growth of this channel, which I still am. But I am also getting rid of my text line, which I'm sad about, but at the same time, I get like 80 messages every 4, 5, 6 hours. And it was just, can you imagine opening up your phone and having detailed questions, 80 of them sitting there every 6 hours? I swear, I got older by about 5 years per year that I did it. It made me just exhausted. So I got rid of that. I got so much time back by just getting rid of that one feature that helped very few in the grand scheme of things. And I'm starting to button down my brand and my business to where I'm doing things really only that help thousands, and that's how I'm gonna attack the content on thefantasyfootballshow.com more this year. I'm quite honestly ashamed of the amount of content I produced on this year comparatively to other years and what I'm capable of doing, but the text line bogged me down so much every day. Getting rid of the text line is going to make this content the best it's ever been, and I've got exciting announcements in regards to the content here, so go get your lifetime membership so you never pay for content again. You don't have to worry about price increases, everything. Go get it. Go do it live. The content's ready. thefantasyfootballshow.com. The rankings will drop tonight on that for the Dynasty and Redraft and Superflex for 2024 and beyond, so get ready for that. But Dynasty channel, youtube.com/Dynasty Fantasy Football, youtube.com/The Fantasy Football Show. And then I'm on Spotify for anybody that doesn't understand that every single show is also on Spotify. Okay, anything else, bro? Trevor, before you leave?
No, nothing else. Just wanted to call in and let you know that we did it. We won a champ. And here's to next year, man.
To the moon.
Appreciate you, bro. Later. Mars Man Rock Out on the line. Chris from Rhode Island, hang tight. I'm coming to you next. Mars Man Rock Out. What can I do for you, young man? How many championships did you win? Tell me you won one. I know you had some tough situations, but...
Fortunately, I lost in the championship and had too many injuries.
I'm sorry, bro. Injuries took out a lot of people. You can't feel bad about that, man. I mean, it is what it is. We're going to attack 2024. We're going to get you all secured up and have more depth than ever for you in 2024, bro. I'm going to make a focal point of my content this year to have every single position covered in a way of dominating depth than ever before. Like, it'll be a focal point of what we do. Like, I don't know if you remember my content, which I think saved a lot of people's fantasy football seasons in the offseason, where I said, don't listen to these nonsense content creators that say don't draft more than 2 quarterbacks in a 1 QB league. Oh, you don't take 3 quarterbacks. It's a rule. It's not a rule. It's your rule. Go play with your rules over there. You're not welcome here with your rules. Our rules are there are no rules. The first rule of the Fantasy Football Show is there is no rules except for BPA, best player available. That's rule number 1 and the only rule. Rule number 2, I guess we have 2 rules. Treat people with respect in the chat and make this a positive environment. But, bro, one of the things I tried to hammer home this past offseason was draft elite quarterbacks, stockpile them, and not only do you have trades when an injury pops up, but if you get hit with injury, you're covered. And a lot of people that had Jordan Love as their quarterback too preparing themselves if they lost their starting quarterback, Anthony Richardson, Joe Burrow, etc., 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 Jordan Love saved you. So this year, I'm going to take that approach in a very much more calculated way for all the positions. We're going to be buttoned up all over the place. We're going to have as many potential stabs at this coming year's Kyron Williams, and we're going to hit it and do it live. Anything else? What else you got, bro?
So what do you think was your biggest hit and biggest miss and your most surprised this year?
My biggest miss has to be Bijan Robinson, but I don't feel all that embarrassed by it because the entire industry, I miss more on it than other people, because if I'm going to come out here and say and claim I'm the biggest Bijan supporter known to man, I got to circle back and take the biggest L on Bijan. I can't have it both ways. I can't act like I'm the biggest Bijan guy, and if it blows up and he's the number one overall running back, everyone's going to say Smitty's the one. I can't sing praises like that to myself and then not come back in and be like, I took an L on that. I did. I don't feel embarrassed because all the signs, this isn't one of those, in hindsight, it looks like, oh, we should have known. It didn't. I mean, we brought this up all the time in the offseason, and it wasn't like we didn't have amazing data for it. Atlanta was the number one rushing offense in the entire National Football League. Algier was an absolute beast, and they took this man inside the top 10, and there was plenty, 559 total attempts in 2022 heading into the season, Bijan's rookie year. There was more than enough carries to divide up between everybody. It was just an unforeseen way that Arthur Smith attacked Bijan, and I took an L on that. But the thing about it is, it's crazy because if we had hit that, it would have felt like an invincible season. I think you're always going to have an L somewhere. You're always going to have injuries somewhere. Aaron Rodgers going down was another huge hit that kind of took Garrett Wilson out as a big L for me, because that was a top 10, top 12 overall prediction for me. I would say Bijan and Garrett Wilson feel like my biggest misses, but I don't feel embarrassed about them at all. They're kind of unforeseen type situations. I don't think I could have done a whole lot better job preparing for that and expecting that. I feel like the red flags weren't ones that were, apparent sitting right in front of me. But I'd probably say the Breece Hall, the Jahmyr Gibbs, the Deebo Samuel, the Isaiah Pacheco's, like all the other hits and a lot of moon men that we smashed felt like they more than adequately made up for that. So, I mean, we had a good year, man. There are years where I'll admit to you, it felt like a good year, but some crazy things happened. This felt like an amazing year. When the year closed out yesterday, I was on cloud 9. I wasn't depressed at all. I didn't feel like we had a bunch of, kicks to the nutsack like you do on some Sundays. I felt like we smashed 2023 to pieces as a community. And I know you didn't win your league rock out, and some of you didn't. That's going to happen. But even on Underdog, Code Smitty, I was literally I felt like I got kicked in the nuts as far as McCaffrey and Kamara going down, because I was on pace for like 15K in that league, and I had a chance for the 200K. I truly did. I was 39 to 42 points. I forget where it finished out of number one's first place. I finished 42 points behind first place. I think 41, 42 points, and I had CMC and Kamara both get injured. So had those guys popped off, I think I could have had a chance at the 200K in the 2023 best ball draft tournament that I was in. I finished 80th place. I got $1,000 in that. I finished 29th place in the other Underdog Superflex tournament, which was really solid. I think those two, let me see if I can find those two. I think it's right here. This one I finished 29th place on Underdog. You can see the winning total in the bottom left corner underneath the Fantasy Football Show next to the yellow 29. $250 on that one. Not that that's a huge prize, but 29th out of 70,000 people was a nice little W for us, I think, in general. Then was this the one? I don't know if this is the one. I was in contention for 5,000 at one point. I didn't get a screenshot before it fluctuated because it was fluctuating all day, but I was at 15K at one point. And this is the one that I ended up getting 1,000 because CMC and Camaro went down in that 5K, turned to 1K. And then I floated around 80th place overall in Underdog. So just at the end of the day, man, it just felt like a smash. I'm so excited about 2024, man. I've never been more energized. I've been doing this freaking over 2 decades. Not the YouTube channel. This will be our 5th or 6th year. I think it's our 6th year now. Yeah. So like, but as far as like doing professional content, radio, you know, all that stuff, like this is over 2 decades now, and I've never felt more ready to take on another 10, 15, 20 years, bro. I'm so pumped. Everybody's sitting there tired, worn out, going to take a little vacation. So many people you're not going to hear from anybody. You know, rankings will be out. We'll try and look at, no, we're starting now. It starts now. Not everybody wants to partake. A couple people in YouTube comments were like, it's too early to talk 24. Then get out of here. Come back when you're ready, because we ain't stopping. And the Dynasty channel, I vow to dominate the Dynasty content on YouTube because it's garbage. We're doing it. That means tonight we're doing a live stream. Tonight we're doing content on the Dynasty channel. So if anybody's not prepared and ready for that, you're going to miss a live stream tonight. Here's the Dynasty channel. Sub up. Anyway. Rock out, hang tight. If you got anything else, you can hang tight and chime in a second. Chris from Rhode Island. I'm sorry about the wait. Chris, what can I do for you?
No problem, Smitty.
You move, man.
So yeah, Zamir White was a good choice. Picked him up.
To the moon.
Got him in my lineup. Won.
You know what I'll say, and I've had misses. An example of a miss would be I'm trying to think of what I told Perps. Our biggest super chatter of the year so far with the 299 wad. I told Perps to start Mahomes over Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, he still won his league though, thank God. I can now sleep at night because it didn't affect anything. But like I had some misses for sure. I don't want anybody to think I'm in here just absolute always pat myself on the back. I had some misses this week for sure. But bro, I'd say 2 of the most league winning pieces of advice that we kind of push a lot on the channel, and I don't just say me, like our community in the comments, you guys promoting it too. We're a team here. Everybody watching right now, we're a team. Probably the most, I think, helpful stuff we threw out there the last maybe 10 days that helped people smash championships. Zamir White, we were pushing that from the onset before people were really on top of that situation, talking about how Jacobs was going to sit out the final 2, 3, 4 weeks of the season, and said that from pretty much back in January, a year from today. Jacobs is probably missing the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season. I'm just telling you right now. I said that for practically a whole freaking year. And Zamir White comes in and saves the freaking day for so many people to the moon. Probably my most proud thing, and again, a lot of misses. I don't want people to think I think I land everything. Probably my favorite land of the last, 2 weeks has been Jerome Ford, especially this week. Jerome Ford, we came in that about an hour and a half before kickoff of that game and just told everyone, start Jerome Ford. He's going to go crazy. He's going to smash on that underdog higher, which he did on the first drive. And Jerome Ford almost single-handedly put people in a lead that could not be taken away, and people won championships, Jerome Ford. Jerome Ford's going to be really interesting because Chubb's coming back. I know a lot of Nick Chubb owners want to believe he's going to be amazing again, want to believe he's going to bounce back. He's getting up there as an older running back. He's going to have arthritis hit him as fast as Todd Gurley's arthritis hit him, which means that during the middle of a season, it's going to all come to a crashing halt. I don't know if that will be this year. I don't know if he'll be ready for the season. I don't know what in the hell's in store for Nick Chubb. All I know is Nick Chubb's not on my radar right now for 2024. I don't want anything to do with his ADP unless he falls to a crazy late territory, which then he becomes a whole different person to me because I approach it differently, just like we approached Alvin Kamara differently than if he was a top 15 overall pick last offseason. He wasn't. He was a 6, 7, 8, 9 round monster. Now, Alvin Kamara did crap the bed in week 17 because he got injured, but so did McCaffrey. McCaffrey, at all intents and purposes, crapped the bed on you in championship week. So did Tyreek Hill. So did JJ. So did a lot of people. So I don't want to hear like, oh, you screwed me out of the championship because you didn't like McCaffrey as high as 1 last year and you liked Bijan so high. Well, guess what? Like, neither one of them helped you win the final game. People that won the final game were loaded with talent, that stepped up big, that adjusted, adapted, traded for Devontae Adams, one of our best go-get trade pieces of advice over the last, I don't say 8 weeks. Deebo Samuel smashed for people. Kyron Williams is an absolute league-winning monster that walks into 2024 as a top 2-3 overall player. So excited for 2024, bro. Chris, what else you got?
So I do want to say, Smitty, one of the big things that you tell people on here is that make sure everyone on your lineup has a backup and is able to be backed up by your lineup. And Devontae Smith didn't do shit for me, but Jaden Reed picked up the slack. So,
yeah, a lot of people were trying to blame Jahmyr Gibbs and say I lost because of Jahmyr Gibbs. He carried you the entire way, and he needed to be carried in the final week. And I gave a little pep talk to people coming out of that game and saying, look, Jahmyr Gibbs didn't do what you wanted him to do. But guess what? Now it's time to show that your team can step up, like you just said, and carry him. And that a lot of people came in and said, Smitty, you were right, just like you did. I went ahead and I said, what player can carry? What player can help me win? Adams was a player that helped kind of carry the weight. Jaden Reed carried the weight. Some quarterbacks carried the weight. It's amazing, bro.
Again, I just want to thank you for everything that you do for us in
thank you.
this community.
Hey, thanks is all on this side of the table, because honestly, as much as it sounds like, when I'm screaming and yelling, I forget this. I never forget this. I'm always thinking this top of mind is like, I am, there's no show if you guys aren't watching. You know what I mean? So the thanks is all on my side of the table, but I appreciate you, and let's tear up 2024. Let's leave no prisoners in 2024. Let's let your league mates think that there's some sort of luck going on with some of the calls that you landed this year, and let's absolutely destroy them and leave them wondering where in the hell you're getting this information. We're doing it live. It starts right now. This is Saturn Man number 1. Let me play the thing real quick. Hold on, guys.
The Saturn Man. The Saturn Man. Spaceman.
And here's a hate. We haven't seen a hater in a while, especially on HM. But you sold my week 16 with HM, bro. Joel, if I could give you a hug, I would. Just to try and make you feel better, because I know you're pretty sour about it. But I'm sorry, Joel. Hate to tell you, but HN won championships, Joel. He didn't lose them. Anyway, hey, Chris, appreciate you, bro. We'll see you later.
Appreciate you too. Have a good one, Smitty.
Yeah, later,
Talk
bro.
soon.
Yep. All off season, we'll be here, bro. Rock out. You got anything else?
No, that's it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro. All right, call in if you got anything after this. All right, later, bro. Okay, let me hit these live super chats here. You're the man. Any update on Garrett Wilson jersey? I'll find out from Underdog who won that. I'm sure they'll let me know in the next couple of days who won the Garrett Wilson and the Superflex drafts. Rockout was in the running for sure. Travis, I think, was in the running for the Superflex one. But I can't wait to know that. Mikey with a $20 hauler. Mikey, you still here, pal? I'm sorry for the wait. Mikey, to the freaking moon.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Mikey, appreciate you. Mikey says, love your content. Just wanted you to let you know that I won my championship. Breece and HN to the freaking moon. You don't know how excited I am to hear you say that you won your championship, Mikey. Not just because you won it, but because you won it at the hands of the man that so many people hate, Devon Achane, Breece Hall. So many people doubted, but not you. Not you, not us, not everybody sitting here watching right now, because you're ballers. You're absolute straight savages at fantasy football, and we're here to stay. Thank you very much, Mikey. Appreciate you, you absolute monster. Thanks for dropping the $20 hauler. DeBalt coming in strong. Says no days off. We start now. Is Mikey here? Did Mikey see that? Thank you, DeBalt. Appreciate you. Did Mikey see this? Did Mikey see this? Where's Mikey? Is Mikey here? DeBalt, thank you, pal. Let's see if Mikey's still in the building. I just want to make sure he heard me. Can anybody confirm if Nugent's still in here? He is. He's here. He's here.
To the moon.
Mikey, appreciate you. We're you know, you guys have no, like, I can't even explain it. I can't even express it. Phone lines are open. I'm sorry if I didn't have them up. They're up now. I can't even express it to you guys. You have zero, every single one of you has zero clue how excited I am on January 1. It's my favorite day of the year. It's the reset of every hype thing we've done, and it's not about that I want the other season to end and start over so we can get a fresh start and get better predictions out. We crushed it in 2024. Sum total, we crushed it. It's not about that. Even when we're crushing it and things are going great, I'm still just giddy about the idea of starting fresh, putting out a Moon Man, putting out a Saturn Man, doing it live. Here we go, Marsman.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Marsman.
Oh, that's blank. Well, that's because there's nobody.
Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
Nobody's ready for that yet.
The Moon Men. Dropping loads in outer space.
That one's coming.
The Saturn Men. Man. The Saturn Men. Spaceman.
You guys have no clue how excited I am to start all this fresh. Even off an amazing season. Still wanted it to be here, to be 1/1/24, and it is here, and we're doing it live. And it's crazy to me that so many people took off today. They took off, they called in sick today on the show. We got 127 people in here. Normally we're at 400, 300. A lot of people get a little overwhelmed. They need a little bit of a break. The real ballers are here. 126 of you are here right now. That's okay. I know some people will catch the replay. Some people are out at the beach, you know, whatever, skateboarding around. Some people are on a boat right now. Some people are playing laser tag. I don't know. Cup of coffee, Bed Bath & Beyond, Home Depot. I don't know if they have time, but they'll be here to watch the replay. Phone lines open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
First top super chat of the year so far and the month of January is $2.99 by Perps. Monster. Absolute monster. Appreciate everybody being here. Brian is in here. As an HN owner, it was definitely a love-hate relationship, says Brian. Well, I'm glad you ended up coming around to loving the man. Okay, let's see if I can find any other comments that I think are deserving. Then, let's see here. Okay, thank you, Nugent. I appreciate you telling me. HN owner was definitely love-hate. Might be drafting a lot of zero and hero RB. So my thinking is this, Trey. If you wanted to, again, best player available is the way to go. But if you wanted me to guesstimate what my content is going to look like for the most part based on BPA, like where's BPA going to lead us down, what roads, I'm pretty sure that it's going to look something like this, bro. This is round 1, this is round 2, this is round 3, this is round 4, this is round 5, this is round 6. It's going to be probably, especially if you have a top draft pick, it's going to be in round 1, an RB, because of the RBs that we talked about today on the video. Go watch it. The top 10 running backs for 2024. Kyren, Hall, Gibbs, CMC, and just having one of these RBs and then taking what will probably be a hero RB approach. Hero is where you take one early RB, specifically round 1, could be round 2 as well. You could do a weird like makeshift hero RB from the 3rd round if you wanted and surround yourself with no other running backs for a while. But that's kind of a weird, that's like hero RB light. I'll have a video on that. Hero RB almost, it'd be like medium hero RB would be going RB in round 2. And then full committed, full-blown hero RBs taking your one running back, either CMC, Kyren, Hall, Gibbs, maybe one or two other fit the bill, and then going non-running back in round 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I had to guess, this will be an approach that you see me deploy on the regular and beef up and stockpile as many potential like Ty Chandlers, the up-and-coming potential Kyren Williams players, and just Kamara was available. Like you could have, if you were to take last year's data and throw it into this year a little bit too and mix it together. Like imagine taking Kamara as your second RB in a hero RB approach. So hero RB will be a very big focal point of my content, not because I draft positions, but because I draft players and because I do believe that we're looking at that situation. We got a person that just bought the fantasyfootballshow.com membership. Who is that just bought the fantasyfootballshow.com membership? I want to say somebody just did. Somebody just got it. Appreciate you, whoever you are. You can speak up if it was you. Congrats on stepping one step closer to dominating your league in 2024. TheFantasyFootballShow.com. Go get you a membership. Go do it live. Phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Brianna says, can't wait for the Moon Man section. Well, Mars Men, Moon Men, Saturn Men, they're all going to be exciting. And we'll probably drop another Saturn Man tomorrow. You know, and we'll probably drop 3 or 4 early Saturn Men just because we know what we want. We know what we need. We know who they are. They are who we thought they were. And then we'll slowly unveil some Moon and Mars Men. But we might come straight for 3 straight Saturn Men to kick it off. Just because it's evident, it's clear as day. We know what's up. We know what's up. Hung Like Hernandez says, Kendre Miller 2024. There's a potential. We liked Kendre Miller a lot walking into the season. Couldn't stay healthy. Didn't quite have a season we thought he was going to have. But let's keep in mind one thing. I admittedly didn't love Kyren as much as I did his rookie year. His rookie year, I promise you will find no content creator higher on Kyren Williams than I was. The reason you don't hear me tout that a lot is because it was the year prior, and I don't want to come in and try and piggyback off of a previous year's prediction. Kyren was a super sleeper of mine walking into his rookie season. And this year wasn't his rookie year, by the way, if anybody doesn't know that. And Kyren Williams didn't do what I wanted him to do his rookie year. I thought he'd take the job straight from a healthy Akers. He didn't. He got injured. Kyren didn't evolve or mature into the player I thought he'd be. And this year, I should have been higher on him in the offseason. But I think, and I'm not saying Kendre Miller is the next Kyren. I'm just saying that don't judge a book by its cover fully until you see that player healthy and you know, give it another chance, because Kyren was in that same situation. Let's go over to DeBalt and then Travis Rowe. DeBalt, what can I do for you, DeBalt? You're live.
Hey, Smitty, got a question here. One of my my friends, we're just talking about, he's in a keeper league.
Mm-hmm.
And for sure he's going to keep a Monra. It's a PPR league. The one he's on the fence about is Achan or Tank Dell. And you can only keep 2.
Yeah. You know why I would say take Tank Dell? I mean, it's also going to depend on the rest of the season playoffs, etc. But Dell's going to have higher value. Dell would be I think Dell's going to probably be a second rounder. Tough to know where his ADP is going to be, quite honestly, right this very second. But Dell should be such a high pick that you're going to have a chance. My answer is always the player that gives you the best chance of drafting the other player back. So if you still want to draft Achane back, my guess is he's going to be lingering around, whereas Dell wouldn't be. So my advice would be to keep Dell and then try and draft Achane back. Now, things could change his value. Achane could go up significantly in the next couple weeks. We'll have to kind of just play it by ear. But right now, given what we know right now, I know Achane did great, but a lot of people are still going to doubt him. He's got a hate club as big as his fan club. I'm going to say you have the best shot of drafting both these guys back, or having both these guys by allowing yourself to take a little bit of a gamble and leap of faith that Achane will linger.
Okay. Now, I agree with that. I told him also just to keep Tank Dell. To me, he just holds more value. And he's trying to go after a Stroud next year. If a guy doesn't hold him, I'm like, yeah, I would go after Stroud and Tank Dell and run that stack if you can.
You know, it's going to be...
and you have a Monron, like you're kind of set.
It's going to be interesting where Dell goes. I can't wait to see where Dell goes. I think Dell... I could see... Like, we had a couple people, like, remember Ron Navy came into the mock draft and was saying, what about Dell, like, at 7 or 8 overall? We're like, that's a little early. And it's not to say Ron was wrong in expecting that kind of season, because the last thing I want someone to think is that I'm saying that person can't be that good. I love Dell. Dell could easily be that good, but Dell's ADP probably will be nowhere in round 1, especially coming off injury, not seeing, you know what I mean? You're going to have that what have you done for me lately mentality infecting a lot of people's Dell value. So Dell most certainly can't come out of 2024 or 2023 into 2024 on a high. He's only coming down on a low. So there's I think it's going to be in round 2. It could fall to 3. I don't think it will, but you never know. It depends on his offseason. But we got to also be careful not to take him too high. You wouldn't want to take him at 7 or 8. That leaves no room for any kind of sophomore slump or hiccup, you know. So, but Dell's a freaking monster.
Yeah, he's going to be amazing. So I have one other question for you, and this is going to come down to a dynasty for quarterbacks. Obviously, we don't know where these players are going yet. It'd be a lot easier to answer when. But out of I consider top 4 best quarterbacks would be, of course, Caleb Williams, Penix, Bo Nix, and Drake May. I personally believe out of all those, Drake May would be the one to go after. Now, mind you, he's a sophomore. You're going to have to wait a little bit more for him to develop, depending on where he goes. But out of those 4 in Dynasty, which one do you like most?
Look, I would answer this question, but I want it to come via the rookie content drops that are coming in the next couple of days and weeks. So I would say that get ready for my full evaluations on this. I'm going to leave the rookie content, even the running backs, even the wide receivers. I mean, you kind of know how I feel about Marvin Harrison Jr. It's kind of hard to keep that under wraps, but I'm going to keep a zip tight mouth here, and I'm not gonna spill the beans on the evals and unveiling of that. Some of it will be on thefantasyfootballshow.com too. Not that I'm gonna try and keep the content prisoner. You'll see a lot of it on here, but that's coming. So get ready for it. Landing spot's gonna determine a lot, though. Clearly, look at Bryce Young. Yeah. I think if Bryce Young went to Houston, we'd see a very different Bryce Young. And if C.J. Stroud went to Carolina, we see a very different C.J. Stroud. Now, you can't separate player from situation, so I'm not going to play that game. But I'm merely telling you that even after my evaluation drops, there'll be a lot of this will be determined by where they go. You know, is Chicago going to draft Caleb or one of these quarterbacks and ship off Fields? I got to update I would show it, but I don't want to show an inaccurate draft board. Well, I guess I could move it around live on the show, but I don't know where these players go will determine everything.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's gonna be. It's one of those way too early kind of rankings, But I completely get you. I'm just trying to get my mind ready on who I want because I'm gonna be last on the pick. But I already know I am one MBH. I just kind of wanted to feel where these other quarterbacks may land.
I'll give you
we'll talk about that.
I'll give you an idea of what I mean too. It's like Travis is on the line here, and I don't want to offend him greatly, but like whoever goes to New England, I'm not going to like that landing spot. It could evolve into something solid, but initially I'm going to treat it like Carolina until there's enough until there's enough weapons there, until I know what's going on there, until maybe if they made a trade in conjunction with drafting, let's say May or whoever, and then they go get a wide receiver, they bring in they bring in a new coach who's aggressive and trades for Devontae Adams. Like, boom, all of a sudden things totally change, But right now, I don't know that plugging and playing anybody is going to produce. I just think that, and so to a lot of Travis's maybe points that he may or may not still hold true in his mind, judging even a quarterback like Mac Jones is not fully fair because the situation has not been very adequate. So I don't like that landing spot at all. I like the Chicago landing spot. The Cardinals are all in on Kyler at this point, I can tell you right now. So that whole thought of maybe trading Kyler and drafting a QB, that's probably out the window. It's all about supporting Kyler Murray at this point. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. would be amazing for Kyler. I don't know if the Cardinals will even get him at 4, assuming they hold that pick. So I don't know. We'll see, bro. But rookie content coming. Get ready.
All right. Appreciate you, Smitty. Thanks
Later, DeBalt. Travis, you got anything more on that topic or another topic? Hit me with it.
Well, yeah, my dream scenario is the Patriots actually lose, get the second pick, and throw a boatload of money at Ben Johnson from the Lions. I know a couple of the Lions fans in the chat don't think Ben Johnson's leaving, but I think he's going to have so many offers he might leave this year, take a head coaching job somewhere. But I'd love for them to go after that, just to, start a new regime over there, whole new thing. And I would do like you had said for other teams. My dream scenario would be if the Bears are going to trade for Fields and draft Marvin Harrison. Right there, you can start building. But
yeah,
I agree with you until they do something like that or prove that they're willing to rebuild in a certain way, anyone who goes there has a question mark on them. I mean, they showed that this year, in my opinion. So,
yeah.
But in terms of Dynasty, I was actually calling to ask because this is my first year doing Dynasty. I did a startup league with some friends and stuff, and I'm still kind of learning. How many rounds do you usually do for a rookie draft, like this coming year? Because we just did the startup draft this year, so
there's no set number. I mean, is there I would do 4. I mean 4. It depends how big your roster is. If your roster is huge, depends how many rookies you can. Some people have taxi squads, some people don't. Like taxi squads can make you go 5 or 6 rounds. If you go 6 or 7 rounds, 5, 6, 7 rounds, you have people with this extra picks, and your draft gets to be messy because people are like trying to trade these picks and are on the clock forever, going, "Who wants my 6th rounder for next year's 6th rounder?" So it's like I would just do 4. I would do 4 personally, but there's no rules to it at all. Zero.
And so what do you do? However many rounds you do you drop that many players off your roster, or how does it work? I've never done I've only done the startup.
Yeah, for the most part.
So if you have 4 rounds, you just drop 4 players before.
I recommend as a commissioner increasing your roster size by 4 so that people can illegally, not hold up the draft, but then you just got to enforce it and say drop somebody Bob. But it depends because somebody might not make a drop and then they can't make the draft selection and it just holds it up. But whatever. I mean, it's all preference. I got people that ask me what scoring should I use, how many there's nothing to really guide anybody, bro. Every league is completely different. Yeah. My preference doesn't mean it's other people's preference. I like total point leagues over Super Bowl, prizes. So everybody's a little bit different.
Yeah. the total point thing, there's something to say for that for sure. Because I was in, I think 3 of my 5 leagues. I had either the first or second most points, and I mean, it did nothing. I didn't even come close to a bye. I struggled to get into the playoffs, And there's another league where people have the most points, but they're just lined up that their schedule they faced the most points by far, and they didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's why. And I know that I think Collusion was the one that was not happy with the prizes. I announced the prizes to everybody beforehand, so nobody should be shocked or mad.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm going to change it. I'm a man of the people, so if the problem is we'd have to get both leagues to vote on it. That's messy. I think the way it's set up is proper. I think the fact that I have there's certain rationale applied to this thing that I've thought through. I didn't just just do something stupid and come up with a dumb idea. If you win the points race and the Super Bowl, you are crowned the total king of the Moonman or the Marsman. And Jack of all trades won the points race and the Super Bowl, and he did it in the first year. And that might not be replicated for 3 or 4 years, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, who the hell knows? So he has a claim right now that someone could win one of those and not unseat him as the king of the North, you could say, and king of the South, which is what we should call it. So that's why there's a prize for the points winner and a prize for the Super Bowl winner. And he won both of them, meaning he wins first and second place in all of the money. So everybody can say there should be a second place, and that way. And I'm not trying to say the Collusion shouldn't like this idea. He has every right to feel how he feels about it, and I love Collusion to the moon. If you're watching Collusion, you're my boy. But I think there's something to say about winning all the money. I think, in my opinion, somebody should be able to win every single dollar that's available. And I think when you crown the points winner and you crown the Super Bowl winner, you're giving 2 opportunities for somebody to win money, but you're also giving an opportunity for one person who had the best season of their life to win all of it. And I think it's the best way. Why give a second place prize? I mean, I'll do it. I don't mind that too. You could make it 3 prizes if you wanted, but that's the way I like to do it. But that's not everybody likes that.
Well, just like I said, you build an awesome team. You score the most points by far, but it just so happens your opponent averages 170 points a week against you. It's like that's not your fault. You can't control who you face. It's not like your defense. You're rolling a defense out there and letting up points. So it gives it gives someone a chance to win some money that may not win the Super Bowl.
But I also mapped it out ahead of time, saying that I strategically want to say whoever wins the Moonman and Marsman points and Super Bowl is crowned something different than anybody else that just wins one. So it's hard to do, and he did it. Right. So Jack of all trades, congratulations on winning the points race and the Super Bowl. He did it, and let's see if anybody can do it in the next 5 years. Because you might win the league, you might win the battle, the 2024 battle, but he's king of the North, and the Moonman, king of the South, is going to move up into the league. Who was it? It was Salty Chopper won the Moonman League. He moves up into the Marsman now. He's king of the South. Or no, he's not king of the South because he didn't win the points race too. So nobody is king of the South.
He just won the Moonman League.
Yeah, so Salty Chopper moves up, and then TNT moves down to the Moonman League. Let's put our cards on the table. It was between him and I that lost the league. I don't say that in shame because my team was freaking fire, but then again, it wasn't because I had a lot of people shart the bed on the way out. Their careers are over, but my team was my team was AR 5, and then he got hurt, and then I had I traded for Josh Allen, and so Allen was my QB, but I had to make trades and dilute a little bit. I had Achan, I had Eckler, who crapped the bed. I had Puka. I had Olave. I had Kelsey. I had. Who else did I have? There's somebody. Ridley.
Let's see. You rolled with Purdy for a little bit.
I still had Purdy. I mean, it was
JSN.
I mean, it's a good team. Like, if you looked at this team and I told you that I finished second to last, you'd be like, I mean, even though Kelsey crapped the bed, and even though Eckler, you would still be like, that team is like, how the hell is that the last place team? And it was crazy. Like, it was one of my favorite teams all year, even up to the bitter end. But it didn't do it. Like, this is evidence of you can't always smash. Not all the time. Not every day, every hour. All right, hey Travis, hang tight. Let me get some of these super chats out of the way real quickly because they're kind of piling up. Just hang tight real quick. $20 hauler from Dragon dropping a 20 wad.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20 super.
Dragon, my boy. I got my pocket hanging out of my pants. Dragon, 1, 2 out of 3 championships because of you. You lost Dragon D's nuts across your face. Crown champ. Thank you again, brother. Thank you, Dragon. Appreciate you. To the moon, Dragon. We'll send you
to the moon.
Thank you for the super chat. Actually, you know what? Let's have the computer. This one will be an interesting one to have read while I take a drink break. So this is from Dragon. Dragon, computer, go ahead and read it for me.
Dragon Trajkovsky, 1, 2 out 3 championships because of you, Smitty. You lost to Dragon D's nuts cross your face rolling on the floor laughing crown champ. Thank you again, brother.
Thank you, Dragon. Appreciate you. Drag away, pal. $20 hauler from Vampy over here at the bottom. Vampy says, Smitty, to the moon.
To the moon.
You to the moon, pal. You to the moon.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20 super chat.
Vamp is my boy, Blue. Vampy to the moon. Appreciate you, Vampy. Vamp also says, also, I give my dad fantasy advice based on your advice, and he won the league.
To the moon.
To the moon. Thank you, Vampy. Appreciate you. Tell your dad congrats. Smitty, I hope you saw my membership chat. Really appreciate everything. The content creator. Let me know when you want to get back to Disneyland again. Always got your back. Vampy's so amazing, bro. This guy's got the hookup. Okay, let's see here. Vampy, he said membership question. Let me go and see if I can find his membership question. Here it is. Got the championship and lost, but just happy I made it. This show has taught me everything I know about fantasy. Love you, Smitty, and love this community. Not everybody's going to win it. I wish everybody could, and I just showed you an example where I was second to last in the Mars Man. Almost got bumped down to the Moon Man, and I had a great team. Sometimes, and this is why you got to have several leagues lined up so you don't have one injury, one bust, one sad set of circumstances like take out all your fun. And that's why you got to also do Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Let me drop that link in the live chat right now so that everybody can get on top of that for this week even. And draft these mittens. These fantasy football NFL playoff mittens are phenomenal. It's like so amazing. There's like, you see the success stories, right, of people winning millions of dollars. You see the success stories of even like your boy winning 1,000 was fantastic. And I was on the verge of winning 15K. It was 5K. It kept going bouncing back and forth. I think I would have had a strong shot at the 200K first place prize. And that's not over. Like, you know, some people are like, man, I wish I got in on that. You can do a fresh playoff only draft right now and be that guy still in 2023/24 NFL playoffs. So I'm going to pin that link right now. We'll probably draft tonight, I think. I want to draft now, but we'll probably wait until tonight. I'm going to do a Dynasty live stream as well. I think maybe we'll talk about Breece Hall. Sometimes we piggyback the Dynasty channel off the main channel. Would be good to have a Dynasty conversation about Breece Hall. But Vampy, appreciate you, and we'll get you smashing your championship next year, and you bet your bottom dollar we're coming back to Disneyland. Okay, that's for sure. Smitty and the industry. The difference between Smitty and the industry. Smitty is always 100% entertaining along with the knowledge. Thank you, Jaime. Appreciate that. $2 hauler. Keep 1 Cup, Lamb, Gibbs. 4 times 5 Hall, James Cook. What? 4X? Who's that? Who's 4? I think he meant to type in a player. Or maybe 4, there's no 4th rounder. Maybe that's what that means. Keeper, keep 1. Cup 1, Lamb 2, Gibbs 3, 4. I don't know what that is. Hall, Cook. Do you know what he's trying to say, Travis? I don't know if you can see it.
No, there's no player with a nickname X, right? That I'm missing.
Spy, what do you mean here, bro? I don't know what you mean here, but I'm going to say, let me just rank what I've got here. Gibbs and Hall and Lamb are all super close, bro. I mean, you could argue Lamb if you wanted, but I think because I would draft Gibbs and Hall ahead of barely.
He said he has no 4th rounder.
Okay, no 4th rounder. So you keep them at this round, then I guess he's saying? If so, then Hall by a mile. But even if you wrote them in as your first rounder, it would probably still be Hall. Because, I mean, I'm putting him as the first Saturn man kind of for a reason. I would have went Gibbs if I thought I'd draft Gibbs ahead of Hall right now. I'm leaning Hall. It's very volatile. It's very volatile in my own head. But, I mean, that's what I'm thinking at least. I mean, if this is a round, Hall in round 5 is a smash. And if
He said you keep him in that round.
Yeah, Hall in the 5th round. I mean, he's a Saturn man. He's a top 3 overall player, top 4 overall player. That's absolutely a total smash. Vampy, appreciate you again for the super chats. Thank you. Tell your dad congrats. Trump 2024 says, love you, Smitty. Did I miss my moonshot? No, you didn't. Here it is.
To the moon.
And you know what? I'm taking that back. You don't get a moonshot, Trump. You get a Saturn shot.
To Saturn.
To Saturn, pal. Appreciate you for coming in strong. Okay. I think the super chats are caught up. Anything else, Travis?
I was just looking at the Marsman League. Another tough break you got was you faced by far the most points.
Did I?
In the league.
Like by how many?
Almost 100. So you faced 2,065. The next closest was Mark, who faced 1,977.
That's crazy.
So that's almost 100 points.
And no wonder
And then after that, it's like
I lost.
After that, the next closest is 1,892.
That's a big difference. Yeah.
Yeah. I just looked at it. I think 9 weeks out of the season, someone dropped 140 or more on you.
Jeez. No wonder I got.
Pretty good. Yeah.
No wonder I got the crap
5 or 6 times against you.
Yeah. No wonder I got the crap beat out of me in the Mars man. But it is.
You weren't. You were middle of the pack in points scored too. It wasn't like you were last or second to last or anything.
It felt like an uphill battle, to be honest, bro. It felt like I remember I didn't have a chance. I don't have time to look at all that stuff, to be honest. I was like, whatever. I barely had time to pick people up. But I remember thinking to myself like 4 or 5 times during the year going, I don't understand this. Like I pull up, when you pull up a league and you're expecting to see the green, like you just want to see that you're in the lead, you're projected to win by 65%. You just want to see that green meter instead of the red. And it's like every time I pulled up the Marsman League, I'd hit the button and it'd be like, it'd always be like 30% chance of winning, you're losing. And I'm like, come on. Like, I just can't shake it. Like, what's going on here? I knew in my head I was facing more points than anybody. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, that's like right off the bat, week 3, you score 170, and Mark comes in and scores 185 on you.
That was week 1?
So, week 3.
Week 3? Yeah, it seems right.
Yeah. You score 139, Signathy scores 144.
Yeah.
One of those seasons.
If anybody didn't know who the first Saturn man is, if it's not apparent on the screen, let me show you.
The Saturn men. Man. The Saturn men.
I might change the voice on that one. But that one's pretty set. I probably do a Saturn man tomorrow as well. Bill, $10 hauler, won the championship in the big league, $3K in prizes. Thank you for your thoughts. For next year, we keep 2 players, Superflex League. No rules on keepers. Lawrence, Bijan, Puka, Olave will be my options. I would keep Bijan and, well, Superflex, damn. It's so hard because, like, Trevor Lawrence almost doesn't deserve it right now. That's another one I'd say of my misses, but I feel like I hit on Love and missed on Lawrence a little bit. Not a lot. I think Lawrence still has upside, but he just didn't have the year, plain and simple. But I think Love was a nice smash, you know, for the channel, and took a lot of heat in the middle of the year on that one. Even Breece Hall, even Gibbs, they had their moments where people are like, this is trash. Why did I draft him? I remember specifically, like, early on in the year, like not even week 1, like week 3, 4, 5, somewhere around there, 3 or 4, where people would come in and go, I can't believe I wasted my 3rd round pick on Gibbs. Thanks a lot, Smitty. I'm out of here, or whatever. And people would get all knee-jerk reacting on it. Same thing with Love. But I don't know that Trevor Lawrence has earned this spot, like where I'm just forcing him because he's a QB. Then again, I hate for you not to have quarterbacks. So it almost come down to, Bill, whether you think you would get screwed out of a quarterback. So if you're keeping 2 players, even in a super flex, I'm kind of like, damn, bro, I don't know that I want Lawrence to be one of these guys when you've got Bijan and Puka. I like Olave a lot too, but I'd probably take Bijan and Puka personally in a 2-man keeper and maybe roll the dice a little bit at quarterback if you can get away with it, but only you're going to know that, Bill. I can't really make that decision for you, because if you get screwed out of quarterback, and I don't know that you're going to, $10 moonshot, appreciate you. We'll have a lot of quarterback content on Superflex stuff coming in hot. And I think what I'm also going to do is take a really different approach to the draft nights. I've kind of did it a little bit this year, where I potentially, what Ray G just dropped a $250 wad. This man must have won. Thanks for helping all of us. Ray G, $250 hauler.
Alert. Alert.
We have a $50 plus super chatter in the house.
Ray G. Ray G. Unbelievable, bro. I'm not taking Perps off because he had the $2.99, but I have to put you on the phone line as second place just because of the respect you deserve.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
So Perps there, Ray G2, second place so far, second highest super chat of the year. And are you a unicorn yet, Ray? I think you are.
He is a unicorn.
Yeah, you're right in the middle. You're right in the middle of that screen. Damn, Ray G coming in strong. Right in the middle of, I don't know what I was even saying. Ray G just said, take this. Boom. Hit me right in the gut. I think, what was I saying, Travis?
We were talking about the draft content and like, we're going to do drafts different or something.
Yeah, so I've had comments made to me before, like, you should focus more on best ball, you should, focus more on this and that, like, and like, let me just tell you, when you watch another content creator do a draft, how boring is it? It's like so stupid. You pull up their draft. I mean, a lot of people just want to see mock drafts, right? You pull it up and it's like they're just sitting there. They're, their little heads in the corner. They got the draft board up. It's, 18, 19 rounds long. It's the most boring content you ever saw. You fall asleep in the middle of it. It's like, so I'm going to make, kind of like I started to do and really did all last year, make each mock draft show about something. And I did that last year for the most part. But in the drafts, if we're not doing, and we'll do more mock drafts. We didn't do very many mock drafts last year. The data was pretty crap though. We'll have to see how that is. No one updated their mock draft data very much at all.
The ADP was brutal.
All the way up to like August. I didn't understand. It's like everybody fell asleep at the wheel. All the ADP, updaters got hit on the head and went missing or something. But I almost want to reach out to these mock draft platforms and be like, hey, can you just let me give you an updated ADP list? It could be spitball it. Like, I'll be just because there's nothing updated. You guys have the wrong data in there all off season long. How the hell are we supposed to mock draft? But during best ball drafts, I want to like focus on best ball as the draft's going along. And so when people say you need to do more best ball content, when you watch a best ball draft, you will be getting best ball content. You know what I mean? And you'll know it. And it'll be a little bit more direct and a little bit more specific topic wise, potentially, so that there is best ball content on the channel during any best ball draft. So I'll be making it very, very, very apparent, I think, in the coming weeks as to how that's going to look. We're taking over. We're taking over best ball content. We're taking over redraft content. We're taking over Dynasty content on this main channel and taking over Dynasty content on the Dynasty channel because there's no good Dynasty content out there, in my opinion. Not the way we're going to do it. Appreciate you all. Make sure you subscribe to that Dynasty channel. The Dynasty channel is right here. I'll drop the link so you guys can all subscribe because we're doing a Dynasty live stream tonight. Probably talking Breece Hall. Maybe we do some sort of first round mock draft Dynasty. I think that's what we might do. Hit that Dynasty link right there. Dynasty channel doing it live. Ghost says, gotta see Kyren do it again next season. You don't think he holds out for more money with the shelf life of running backs? I mean, anybody could hold out. No one really knows the answer to that. Depends on how a player feels. But I think that the last thing in the world I'm going to do, I'm just telling you right now, Ghost, is doubt the man. Like, he's the real freaking deal. Not to mention, Ghost, remember what I said at the top of the show. Maybe you weren't here. And I'm not trying to say this to pat myself on the back necessarily for this offseason because I'm admitting that I think some of my disappointment in him not delivering on my rookie predictions for Kyren made me not as high on him walking into 2023 offseason. Although we liked him very quickly. We got on board really quickly, and he became a buy low and all that because he still wasn't quite fully valued where he was going to be. But I was so high on Kyren as a rookie. Like, there's a lot of content on the channel for that. And so what I'm saying in this is to say that if you think Kyren is a flash in the pan, I'm trying to tell you that I didn't think that when he came into the league. So it very much is all fitting. The puzzle pieces are there. It's not like he just delivered one year. We're wondering if it happens again. Like, prospecting wise, love the man. So I think he's here to stay. Anybody can get hurt. Anything can happen. We need to watch the entirety of the season, week 18 and the playoffs, depending on who makes it. We need to see it all play out before even Christian McCaffrey before we lock anything in. Appreciate you though, Ghost. And Ray G dropping that freaking 250 wad. Absolute straight monster. And I don't know if anybody noticed, but we have new emojis. I kind of combed through some of the old emojis, and we added all these emojis. Let me put them on the screen. We added the Tank Dell emoji, ladies and gentlemen. Tank Dell has now been added. Do it live. Do it live. Drop it now. We added the Marvin Harrison Jr. emoji. Go click it, do it live. We added the Sam Laporta emoji. I believe that's in there. Maybe I haven't added that one yet. I think that one's in there. If it's not, let me know. Puka Nakua. Maybe I didn't add the Laporta one yet. Tell me if Laporta's in there, guys.
I don't see the Laporta.
Okay.
I don't think it is.
We made sure Lamb. We replaced Lamb temporarily because we had the Lamb. You know, you could put a actual Lamb, and so we're like, we need something. I think we moved it to Addison for Ron or something for a minute. I put Lamb back. Yeah. Tyreek, we added Tyreek, and I think that's all of the. Oh, and then did I add this one yet? Kyren Williams. This emoji's in there. Drop your favorite emoji, especially if it's a new one. And I think I got to add Sam Laporta in there. And everybody can thank Perps, by the way, if we get another slot open, because YouTube gives these out like they're in lock and key. You know, they're like, you get an extra emoji, one more emoji if you get 200 more gifted, or 200 more YouTube exclusive members. It's like they really, really hold these emojis like in lock and key. And so they open them up like every, I don't know. I think we were like 250 away. Perps dropped a bunch the other night, so we're like a very short amount. I think we're like 20 or 40 away from another unlocked emoji, so we can add Laporta without taking anybody away. But it's crazy that how they drip it out. Like, so we only get so many emoji slots. Anyway, everyone's dropping their emojis, their favorite ones. A lot of Marvin Harrison Jr.'s, a lot of Tank Dells, got some Lamb.
I like the Marvin Harrison one.
Lamb Chop, a lot of Tyreek Hills. Puka's got his own emoji.
Kyron deserved one.
Yeah, Kyron. Yeah. That's my favorite. That's one of my favorite ones. We got Breece Hall. We got Gibbs, obviously, he's in there. Yeah, Lamb's got his. I love using the Lamb Chop emoji with the lamb. Just my personal preference.
Yeah.
All right, anything else?
What? Was the old lamb emoji, was it get lambed or was it just a CD?
I forget.
What it was.
I forget. I think it was a get lamb. Get lambed.
Yeah, something like that. I was going to ask, the only thing with the Rams, like, are they completely tied to Matthew Stafford and how long he can keep this up?
And guys, YouTube membership, if anybody wants to get access to these emojis and you don't know how, I dropped a link right there. You can also click the join button on the channel or the community tab on the channel, and it should allow you to get this. So if you go to the YouTube homepage on desktop, there should be a join button. Below that, it's membership, not community. Membership link on desktop or join. And then if you go on mobile, it's membership. There's no join button at the top, but the membership link, it's right by the store in case you want to get the Breece Hall merch or the Bijan merch or anything like that. But that's how you get access to the exclusive membership, so you can use these emojis.
Smitty, just in the chat, Arjun Sandhu, he's asking about dropping links. You don't want links in the chat, right?
YouTube will block. YouTube will block them anyway. So they can't drop them. I don't know what are you trying to drop, Sindhu?
Yeah, I don't know.
What kind of thing are you trying to drop? And if anybody wants to call into the phone line's open briefly. Your question was Kyron and his ability to do well.
Just Kyron and Puka, I guess.
Well, I guess I would say this. If Cooper Kupp were going to maintain Cooper Kupp value, which I don't think he will. I think he's dropping off. He's going to get hurt a lot. He's going to be 30. Ziggy, how old is Cooper Kupp? I think he's 30, so he'll turn 31.
Cooper Kupp is 30 years old.
30.
He was born on June 15, 1993.
1993. Ziggy off. So, I think he starts getting hurt and banged up, and I think that, I think Puka survives. I think Puka survives because they no longer need to feed both of them crazy amounts of volume. I mean, they'll try. But the other thing I would say is Kyron Williams, I think, will survive because they'll want to run the ball. Even if Stafford went down, Kyron would get force-fed. He would do well. He'd still be okay. Kyron's more capable of surviving at the same exact volume and talent level than Puka would be. Puka would be affected a little bit. Look at JJ. Look at Jamar Chase. I mean, but that's the same point I was going to make, though, is it any different? I mean, I do worry about Stafford staying healthy because he's got a lot of injury history, but he did pretty damn well shaking free as best he could the injury label this year.
He did.
I don't know if he's staying. Maybe Stafford surprisingly steps away, and because he seems like the kind of guy that could. Then I'm worried about it a little bit for Puka. Not so much for Kyron, but for Puka, sure. We'd have to adjust and adapt. Cooper Kupp, certainly. But I would say this last thing. I would say that at the end of the day, if Stafford's going to return, is it any different than Cousins? Like being worried about Cousins, is it any different than being worried about Aaron Rodgers rupturing his Achilles or his others? Is it any? If you guys can mute real quick, Jake and Sebastian and Ethan and Brandon, please mute real quick if you could. I'll call upon you and you can hit the unmute button when you're ready to go. It's no different. It's no different. At the end of the day, if Stafford returns, which I'm hoping he does, it's really no different. Everybody's quarterback goes down. They take a big kick to the nutsack.
That's a good point.
So
yeah, and I would think they have to I don't know what the deal with Stetson Bennett is. He's older. Anyway,
I like him.
I have to assume. I do too. So is he going to be back playing next year? You think they address the backup quarterback more? Or they have to be thinking of something in that.
I think
range.
if Stafford returns, I think they're probably on the fence about it. But I think they probably if Stetson Bennett's healthy, they'll probably roll with that. They took him for a reason. He was probably the most impressive rookie, not like a below Levis. He was probably the most impressive right below him. I mean, Hendon Hooker has a lot of upside, but he wasn't like ultra impressive because he was coming back from an ACL tear. But I very much like Stetson Bennett. He's good enough. I think McVay, as long as McVay's there and something doesn't happen there, that this system will make Kyron elite no matter what. I think Puka's a little bit of a nut kick if Stafford were to go down and we address it as it comes. All right, hang tight real quick, Travis. Let me go.
Did we ever?
What?
Okay, I was just gonna say, did we ever hear what it was with Stetson Bennett? Like, all I've seen was non-football illness, and they wouldn't go into particulars.
I forget what it was, to be honest, but we'll have to take a look at it now. So I don't think.
So he should be back.
Yeah, I don't think he's. Ethan, the negative. You're live, pal. What can I help you with?
Smitty, thanks a lot. I won it all with the 6th seed, and it was good entertainment. This is my first year with you. It was good entertainment all year, and I think a big difference was just trade strategies. Like Yahoo, you can only do 6 at a time, but always trying to put as many trades out there as possible, and all that stuff.
Why is Yahoo so restrictive? Why is ESPN so restrictive? You know what I hate about ESPN? I know some of it's like bandwidth and server, capabilities. Like they don't want everybody to be able to change this and that and make it more heavy in terms of like the bandwidth and the need for resources and such. But like ESPN, you have no customization. Like it's ridiculous. And Yahoo, who in the hell is Yahoo to tell you that you can only send 6 trade offers? And that's not even a setting, I don't think, that you can change. And on ESPN, I think, too, I get over the limit at like 8 or 9, I think it was. Or maybe it was Yahoo that did that, too. But I got over the limit on the other day when I was sending trade offers out, or the other week. And it's like, you are over the trade capacity. Like, why? Who sat there and said, let's limit it to 10. Let's limit this guy's fun. This guy shouldn't be having so much fun. I'm in a cubicle here, and I'm just typing away. And this guy's going to be able to send 15 trade offers? I don't think so. Not on my watch. Who in the hell are you? And why isn't this setting capable of being lifted? That I have no idea. ESPN has the capability to come in and say, oh, all of a sudden, now Taysom Hill can't be a quarterback or a tight end or whatever they want to rip out from underneath you there. But, like, why in the hell would you limit somebody on the amount of fun they can have? What if I want to be a fun guy today? What if I want to send out 18 trade offers to each person? I should be able to do it. Is that over your resources, Yahoo? Is 6 offers times 12 going to break the bank? Maybe so. That's probably what it is. It comes down to resource guy, some kind of pencil pusher, Excel Eric, sitting there in his cubicles like, if we had everybody at once offer 10 trades, the whole site would come down. And that whole Yahoo come crashing down. I don't know. Upsets me.
Instead, they want you to do that stupid feature where you say, hey, this injured running back is available. Is anyone interested? Well, then no one's going to trade with you then. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it helped a lot. And I talked trash to my brother. I told him, he had Breece Hall go off in that first game. And then he said, well, may the best man win. And I said, you will lose. And I sent him the...
What's your brother's name?
The Drago meme.
What's your brother's name?
Clint.
Hey, Clint.
Yeah.
Clint, you look at me right now. You never doubt Breece Hall again, Clint. Breece Hall took you to the cleaners. You should be ashamed of yourself. And I don't think you're allowed to own Breece Hall next year. You don't go near him. Breece Hall deserves better, Clint. Now go, Clint, go get your brother some coffee.
He played Jaron Hall in a 2 QB league.
Go play him that. Go.
After Breece Hall went off, he should have just played safe and played Heineken.
Hey, send that to your brother. 1 minute and 39. 1 minute and 38 minutes into the show. You go show him. Go tell him to get you a coffee.
Yeah, he might be mad.
All right, later, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Smitty. Bye.
He's not gonna even show. He's not gonna even show his brother. I just wasted my time. Mark, who top 5, Smitty? Go, Mark. First of all, go watch the top 10 running back video for sure. But it's probably gonna come down to, one's gonna be CMC, assuming he comes out of the playoffs healthy, unscathed, etc. And then 2, I mean, if we're going like, it's really going to be a combination of Kyren, Lamb, JJ, Hill. I mean, probably Hill over JJ probably even right now until we know what's going on. JJ, you got Breece Hall, you got Gibbs, you've got so that's 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not saying this is my exact order. I'm just trying to throw all these names out. Who am I missing here? So Kyren, CMC, Hall, Gibbs,
Lamb.
Yeah, Lamb's already there. He's at 3. I mean, Mark, this is going to be a tougher.
Chase, maybe, I don't know. You could drop, I guess.
So McCaffrey, okay, so probably out at running back, we probably need to go toward the wide receiver front. I don't think some people are going to want Laporta this high, but I don't think you can do. Amon-Ra, Jamar Chase will be kind of up there. Some would say Puka. Some would say. I mean, who are we forgetting here? I mean, so I think what it's going to come down to.
AJ Brown.
What it's going to come down to at this 8 through 9 spot is does Arthur Smith get fired? Does Amon is going to be right here? Who the hell do you? Someone says JT. That's arguable. Chase is definitely in this conversation.
Rashad White.
Rashad's going to be in this conversation. Garrett Wilson's certainly in this conversation, but this 9 to 15 is going to be a grab bag. This is going to be an argument city in here. At 8, 9, 10, people are going to be like, oh, it's Chase. No, it's not Chase. Oh, it's Garrett Wilson. No, I don't trust Garrett Wilson. You got to throw a quarterback in here. It's Laporta. It's Tank Dell. What are you talking about, Tank Dell? He's a 3rd rounder. No, he's a top 12 overall pick. AJ Brown, what do you mean he crapped the bet on me? Puka Nacua, you an idiot? No, Puka's not going to do well. It's going to be argument city from 8 to 15, 8 to 18 overall. Big blender. Bijan, how could you like Bijan? Well, Arthur Smith's going to be gone. No, he's not. It's going to be crazy, bro. It's going to be crazy. Laporta's going to be in a lot of people's conversation. So Mark Cleveland, that's my answer so far. Mark Cleveland to the moon, by the way. Mark Cleveland to the freaking moon. Can we give a standing ovation for all the support Mark Cleveland's given this channel over the years? The super chats, everything he's done. Mark, never expected, always appreciated. Mark Cleveland to the moon. Robert Artist with a $2 holler. Am I crazy for thinking Kyren over CMC? No, and if you watch my top 24, top 10 running back video, which you clearly didn't, Robert, but I still appreciate you. You super chatted. You get my pat on the back. You'll see me say that you're not crazy to have Gibbs, Hall, Kyren, Christian McCaffrey, or really, Lamb as your potential number 1 overall player. Tyreek Hill, number 1 overall player. Any one of those guys you can make a case. You can make a freaking case. And Cameron says Achan and Kyren won me 2 championships.
To Saturn.
Appreciate you coming in strong. All right, hang tight. Let's go to the next caller. Sebastian, you're live. Keep it as quick as you can.
Where's Draven been?
Draven said he was retiring, and then he came back to the channel and said, I have a shot at the playoffs, and then he made the playoffs, and then I haven't heard from him since. He must have went into a very, 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 very dark place. Let's go check on him. I have a gateway into his room. Draven, wake up. Draven. Lucky closed his eyes. He's pretending to sleep. Draven, you need to get out of bed, Draven. You need to buck up, okay? You lost. You lost. Big deal. Pull your big boy pants up. Get into the chat right now, and let's win 2024. Stop crying and complaining, Draven. I don't know where he is, to be honest with you.
All right, serious question. How did you do on best ball? Because I'm actually trying to get into it next year on like a mass entry. I'm definitely going to follow you during the offseason.
Honestly, I'm pretty proud of my best ball draft, and I'm very transparent about it. I showed I had like three, 4 teams in the finals across different drafts, and then the 2 that were ballers that didn't have like huge injuries. I was in the running for. I think I was in the running for the 200K. Like I think I would have had a strong shot at first place, 200K. I finished 80th place out of 112,000. So I mean that's pretty solid. 80th place out of 112,000 people, and I finished 80th without Christian McCaffrey and Kamara with them going down. So
you know how you did on a percentage basis on like a ROI.
I don't know that they have that necessarily available to you, but I have 1,000 coming to me from that league, so I won 1,000 there. I won a $250 29th place out of 70,000 Superflex tournament. So I did pretty well. The thing is, the thing that I'm proud about though is that, and I think I even have that screenshot here somewhere, and I didn't grab the screenshot when it said. So here's that $250 one Superflex that I got 29th place out of 60,000 people. And then here's that one screenshot. Where is it? I think it's right here. I didn't catch it before because it was fluctuating, but it was at 5K. It was at 15K. I think one time it even went to 30. And I was like, oh my God, I have a chance to win 30K. And it just kept kind of fluctuating on one touchdown. You know, you go up and down. You literally drop into a different tier of $1,000 winners, $1,500 winners. And then Kamara and Christian McCaffrey both got hurt. And I was like, arguably 2 of my best players, and I had Lamar. I just got screwed, but I hung on. Like I went from like 40th place, and it just kept falling during the entire Packer game. You know, as like Love was doing well, and I had nobody left, and I just started to fall from 40th place all the way down to 80th place. But I hung on. Top 100 get $1,000 guaranteed in that draft. So 80th place out of 112,000 is pretty damn good. So I'm happy with it. Do I want to be able to say, hey, I won an underdog tournament and won 200K? Of course I want to say that, but I still feel pretty proud of it. And percentage of ownership on some guys: Tank Dell, Gibbs, Breece Hall, Joe Burrow. Admittedly, having ownership of those guys, at the top, I think says a lot too. Ownership percentage is a nice thing to show people of how you really did in the best ball, I think. But yeah, great year overall.
Remember, like how much you put in, or?
I don't know, bro.
Like for preseason.
I definitely won more than I lost for sure, because every week I'm winning. Like when I do when I do the let me show you, like for example, just on like week 17 alone, I would plug in their $5 drafts, their $5 pick'ems, etc. And even on the drafts alone, this is why I say people should have fun doing these best ball manias. Not best ball manias, these best ball. Hold on, let me pull it up.
Battle Royales?
Yeah, Battle Royales. Thank you. The Battle Royales is because if you look at like here's an example. So you look at like how many you win, lose. Even though I do, $5 entries, do a ton of them, like to the tune of like maybe 10, 20. A lot of times you'll win a $20, you'll win a $10, you win a $10, you win $10, you win $10, you win on like 7 of them, and you'll get like every single dollar you put in plus maybe 20 or $30. So it ended up being like every single week I'd probably pull in. So like I have 30, 130, 23, 60, 100, and you just go down and you just every week, every slate, week 17 Battle Royale, week 16 Battle Royale, week. So you can, as long as you're doing a smart job drafting and diversifying, you pretty much can, not always, this is not financial advice, but you can a lot of the time get at least what you put back in. But you just gotta draft smart. But fantastic. I love Underdog. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Links in the live chat pinned. Everybody should be doing it, and we'll be doing it live. All right, bro, anything else?
No, I'll definitely come back with some valuable questions later on, though. I'll definitely be with you this offseason. But appreciate you.
All right, later, bro. Jake from Tucson, you're live. Keep it short if you can. I'm about on the way out the door.
Yeah, I'll keep it short, Smitty. I just want to give you your due props. I had my 30th annual fantasy football redraft league this year, and proud to say that won my third championship in 30 years with some grinders who've been playing since '93.
Took them down.
A lot of that credit goes to the moon with suggestions like Breece Hall, our Saturn man, the Sun God himself, St. Brown, Hank Dell, Rasheed Rice, Zay Flowers, all suggestions that you put me on in July and August. Like I've said, I called mid-season Smitty. I asked for if we should ship Breece and Herbert for Hurts and Bijan. I really wanted Bijan being out of two stuff.
You're cutting it.
Bijan is going to be the best. I'm cutting it out.
Yeah, you kind of cutting it out. I think you're trying to say Breece Hall goes to the moon, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I mean, basically, if I'm cutting it out, Smitty, I'm going to do is just.
Yeah, you're cutting it out. Hey,
let me get my 30.
Your third year winning. You're cutting it out. I'm going to have to let you go unless you call back in again real quick, Jake, and see if we can get a better connection. Brandon, you're live. Appreciate that, Jake. Brandon, you're live. Go ahead and go.
Hey, Smitty, man. I just wanted to thank you for the great year. Thanks for taking all my phone calls. And, all you and everyone in the community's help with the waiver wire picks and whatnot. Actually ended up winning my third place game because the Bears got a couple of interceptions at the end of the game, so that was definitely a sweat.
Well, we're going to say get on out there and win first next year, so let's do it. Let's rerun that back and let's smash them to pieces, all right?
You said you couldn't hear me there?
No, I said let's go ahead and run this back, though, and get you a first place victory, not third, all right? So buckle up.
Exactly.
Study early on. We're doing it live.
Right on. So, yep, I appreciate it, man.
All right, later, bro. All right, Travis, anything else, bro?
No, I'm good. Is the Dynasty thing going to be like later on?
Yeah,
like
probably
late night
midnight Eastern, maybe a little bit later, but hopefully right at midnight Eastern. If I leave now.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, later, Travis.
I'll talk to you then.
All right, later. Vampy says, how do you think the Seattle backfield will play out? Good question, Vampy. Thank you, Ray G, for the 250. Thank you, everybody, for the freaking super chats. Thank you, Ray, for the 250. Thank you, Dragon, for the 20. Thank you, Mikey, for the 20. Thank you, Vampy, for the 20. Thank you, everybody that's dropping these wads all over the place. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you, Yusuf, for the super. DeBalt, Spy, Vampy, Trump 2024, the Bill, and Robert, and Vampy again. And if I didn't give Yusuf a standing O for the first super chat of the evening, my fault. That's my guy. Yusuf. As for this question, Vampy, I'd say, the reason I think for the best explanation for this is to go watch my top 10 2024 running back video, which I put up on the channel right now. It's up there. It's pinned. Go watch it. I might repin this above it, but go watch it right now because it explains at the end why Walker isn't in my top 10. Or why he's around 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He's in a big range of outcomes. It's not that I don't love him. It's just that if we're being honest with ourselves and we're identifying the risk versus reward relationship that's probably staring us in front of the face, it's like, can he deliver on 17 games? Can he do it for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games and be a top 5 running back? I think he can, like he did at the beginning of the year. But if you guys remember when Walker was going nuts, I kind of had a little huddle on the channel for a couple weeks in a row going, guys, I love Walker. You know I love Walker, but I feel like he's really touchdown dependent and I don't trust the situation fully. And that's how I felt about Walker, is adjust and adapt type mentality. And as much as I love Walker, Charbonnet's there. I don't know how I feel about the volume divide for the long term. So Walker does feel like a great bet at the right ADP, but that ADP is not inside the top 8 running backs for 2023. So where he goes will fully determine where we buy him. He could be a steal, but he doesn't feel safe anywhere near the Breece Halls and Gibbs and etc. You know what I'm saying? Thank you all. See you all tonight on the Dynasty channel. By the way, Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Hit that link that's pinned in the live chat first and foremost. But we will be live on the Dynasty channel tonight. So hit that link that I just dropped. Make sure you're subbed up to the Dynasty channel. And I'll see you all later. Tough to see his situation. Yeah, Vamp, definitely. But it doesn't mean we don't love him. Like Vamp, everybody might doubt Kenneth Walker to the point where he's Alvin Kamara 6, 7, 8 round capability in terms of where you draft him, and then you smash with it. You know what I'm saying, Vamp? So it could be a blessing in disguise. That link, I'm going to drop it one more time in the chat. Dynasty channel, live stream tonight. See you tonight.
The Saturn men. The Saturn men. Spaceman. Spaceman.
Dynasty channel, sub up. The link's right there. Do it live. See you tonight. Dynasty Fantasy Football live stream tonight. Deuces.